nice and tall. Pull those shoulder blades back behind you, create a little bit of space. We're going to start with a couple of half sun salutations just to warm up. So inhale, lift your arms up, big stretch, look up. Exhale, fold all the way down, bring your fingers to rest on your shins or the floor. Lift up halfway, look forward, create some space in your spine. And exhale, fold back down. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way overhead, big stretch, look up. Bring your palms together and exhale, thumbs rest on heart. We'll do that 2 more times just to get a little bit of movement going through our bodies. So release your hands down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Lift up halfway, press your hands into your shins or your fingertips onto the floor. And exhale, fold back down. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way overhead as you come back to standing. Palms touch. Thumb comes to rest at heart center. We'll do 1 more just like that. Release your hands down to your side. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Halfway lift, create length for your spine, look forward. Exhale, back down. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way back overhead as you come to standing. Palms touch, and thumb comes to rest at heart. Take a nice deep breath here, and exhale it out. Good. From here, go ahead and come down to laying on your mat on your back body. Your knees can be bent, feet planted on the floor. And I bring my feet a little bit wider than hip width just to give myself a little bit of space here. Palms can rest wherever it's comfortable, so they can rest on the floor, perhaps palms face up. Or if you'd like, you can put one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly to notice your breath. So take a few moments here and check in with how your body is feeling. So start by noticing that connection between yourself and the ground. Notice the support that you're getting from the floor. And then take a few moments to notice how your body feels today. So you might notice if there's anywhere you're holding tension. And perhaps you can release that tension just a little bit with every exhale. Begin to notice the rise and fall of your belly and chest as you pay attention to your breath. Notice the air moving in and out of your nostrils. And you might choose to lengthen your exhale and allow your whole body to slow down. So long exhales invite your parasympathetic system, the part of your system that says it's okay to relax, to work. So nice long exhales for a couple more breaths. Take some time just to notice your body and your breath. Take one more deep cleansing breath in. A nice long exhale out. And then begin to straighten your legs, stretch your arms overhead. Get as long as you can. Stretch all the way from your fingertips down to your feet. And then relax your arms back down. Go ahead and bend your knees once again. And this time bring your right ankle over your left knee. Work to open your right knee out to the side. This is a little bit of a hip opener, so you might be feeling something there. If you'd like a little bit more, you're always welcome to lift your left foot off of the floor and interlace your hands behind your left thigh. Hug everything into center. Notice where you feel something happening. Take about 3 more breaths in this position. Keep that slow, full breath with a long exhale. When you're ready, if your left foot is lifted, release it back down to the floor. Open your arms out to the side. They can be straight or bent elbows, does not matter. And begin to let your knees drop over to the left side. You can keep that ankle stacked over your knee, or you can uncross and just stack your knees together, whatever feels better in your body today. You might look over your right shoulder away from your knees. Again, do a variation of this that feels good in your body. So it's much more important that it feels good to you than it is that you're doing what anyone else is doing or what I'm suggesting. This is your practice time. When you're ready, go ahead and unwind back to center. Hug your knees into the center, maybe rock a little bit from side to side. And then bring your right foot down to the floor. Press your left ankle over your right knee. And open that left knee out to the side. You might use your fingertips to press into your knee. Begin to work on opening that left hip a little bit. Again, if you would like a little bit more, you might lift your right foot off of the floor, interlace your hands behind your right thigh, and hug that into the center. And come back to that slow breath, being aware of how your body feels. Take a couple more breaths here. When you feel ready, if your right foot is lifted, drop it back down to the floor. Open your arms out to the side. Again, they can be straight arms or bent. And drop your knees over to the right side. You can keep that ankle crossed over your knee, or you can stack your knees. Your knees are stacked. You might use your right hand to pull down a little bit. And perhaps look away from your knees for a little bit more of a twist. This is a nice big spinal twist. Begin to notice where in your spine you feel something happening. Take a couple more breaths here. When you're ready, ready, begin to unwind back to center. This time straighten both legs again, stretch your arms overhead, full body stretch. And then relax your limbs a little bit. Keep your hips and shoulders where they are, but move your wrists and ankles over to the right. So you're making the shape of a big banana. And you might cross your left ankle over your right, or grab your left wrist with your right hand if that helps. You're also welcome to keep both hands and feet on the floor. We're just getting that big side body stretch here for a couple of breaths. When you're ready, release that back to center. And then again, keeping shoulders and hips where they are, move wrists and ankles over to the left side to make the opposite banana shape. And then come back to center when you're ready. If you do not have your strap nearby, go ahead and find your strap. So take a moment to collect what you need. And then we're going to keep our left leg grounded on the floor. We're going to hug our right knee into our chest, move it back and forth a little bit. And then wrap that strap around your right foot and stretch your right foot up towards the ceiling or the sky if you happen to be outside. See if you can flex your feet so that your toes are pointed back towards you, almost like you're standing on the ceiling. You can stay just like this, or if you want a little bit of core movement, lift your head and shoulder off of the floor. Take a couple of breaths. If your head and shoulder are lifted, go ahead and bring them back down to the floor. Put the strap into only the right hand and then open the leg off to the right side. And this might be a little, you might stay up about halfway. Your leg might come all the way down towards the floor. Stop wherever you feel the level of sensation that you want in your body. So a little or a lot, it's all just fine. We'll take a couple breaths here. Again, you might look away from your leg towards the left shoulder. When you're ready, bring that leg back up to center. You're going to move the strap into the left hand only. Plant your right hand on the floor to give you some support. And we're not going to move all the way over to the left. We're only going to move our leg maybe about a foot over towards the left side. So we're keeping both hips and shoulders on the floor. We're not rolling over to the side. We're just getting a stretch through that outer edge of our right leg. Couple of breaths here. This might be a big stretch, a lot of sensation. You can always end at any time if you would like. It's always your choice to stay in a position or come out of it. Take one more breath. When you're ready, bring that leg back to center. Bend your knee, release your strap. You might hug your knee in again, move it a little bit from side to side or make circles. And then we'll get ready to move to the second side. So bring your right leg long on the mat. Hug your left knee into center. And start by rocking it a little bit from side to side, creating a little motion through your hip joints. When you're ready, begin to stretch your left leg up towards the ceiling. Wrap that strap around your left foot. Flex both feet so your toes are pulled back towards your face. And keep pressing through your heels on both feet. Again, you can stay here. If you'd like a little bit of core work, you can lift your head and shoulder off of the floor. Just stay here for a few more breaths. You might notice if this side feels different than the first side that you tried out. If your head and shoulders are lifted up, go ahead and bring them back down to the floor. Bring the strap into your left hand and open the leg out to the side a little bit or a lot. We have some very excited cats today. They think it's playtime. If it's comfortable for your neck, you might look over your right shoulder. And I like to put my right hand right at the top of my right thigh just to press it down and remind myself to ground down into that side. You might notice a big stretch through your legs. When you're ready, bring that left leg all the way back to center. Grab the strap with your right hand and move just a little bit over to the right side. So again, this is not a big stretch where we're trying to twist or bring our foot to the floor. Just bring it maybe 10 inches, maybe a foot over to the right for that big stretch through our outer edge of our leg. Continue your nice slow breaths. And take one more breath here. When you're ready, bring your left leg back to center, bend your knee, release your strap. You can set that off to the side. And maybe hug your left knee in, rock it back and forth, or make circles one more time. And then bring both feet to the floor, roll on up to a seat, and we're going to come all the way over into a tabletop position. So in a tabletop position, our shoulders are over our wrists, our hips are over our knees, nice flat spine to start. And take a moment to get grounded here. So find that connection between your hands, your knees, and your toes, and the floor. Take a nice breath or two to get grounded. Do a couple rounds of what we call cat and cow. So for cat, we're going to arch our back, pull your belly button up towards your spine as you look down towards your knees. And then we'll reverse that, letting our belly drop down towards the floor as we look up, shoulder blades come together. Move back to cat, arch your spine, look down. And then back to cow, looking forward, belly drops down. Do this 3 more times at your own pace. Some people like to move with their breath, so if that sounds nice, wonderful. You're always welcome to move in a different pattern, maybe pausing somewhere to explore those sensations. We'll do one more round. And then come back to a flat, neutral spine. Go ahead and look forward, and I kind of come up on my fingertips a little bit to give myself some space. Step your right foot forward in between your hands. From here, you have the choice of either leaving your knee down or straightening your leg for a runner's lunge. Try to keep your knee right above your right ankle and maybe look forward. Take a couple of breaths here. Notice where you feel something happening. And if you'd like a little bit more, you might plant your left hand, reach your right arm all the way up for a twist. So lots of options. You can keep that left knee down. You can stay in a runner's lunge with both hands down, or you can add a twist. Take one more breath. And then bring your right hand back down to the floor, lower your left knee, step your right foot back towards that tabletop position. Take a nice cleansing breath here, and exhale it out. Look forward, come up on your fingertips if that's helpful. Step your left foot forward. We'll set up for the other side. So again, you're welcome to keep your right knee down. You might lift it up for a runner's lunge. Get nice and stable and steady here. And if you'd like to add that twist, plant your right hand and open your left up towards the ceiling. Couple slow breaths. When you're ready, left hand comes all the way down to the floor, right knee comes back down. Come back to that tabletop position. Nice cleansing breath. Long exhale out. From here, go ahead and walk your right hand forward just a little bit, and then bring your right foot out to the side. So we're making a little kickstand. Stretch your left leg out long behind you, and your left arm will come all the way overhead. This is called Stargazer. And it helps to have your bottom hand a little forward of your shoulder to give you a little bit of space and a little bit of support. Stay here, or if you want to challenge yourself a little more, you can float that top leg. So remember, there's always options. This is your practice to do what you would like to with it. Take one more breath. And then exhale and wind everything back to that tabletop position. Nice deep breath in, and long exhale out. We'll move to the other side, so left hand comes forward just a little bit. Left toes out to the side for a kickstand. Right leg comes long, right arm all the way overhead. And it's pretty common that one side might feel different or more challenging than the other. So make any adjustments you need to. Again, if you want more of a challenge, you want to float that top leg, absolutely fine. Couple more breaths. Engage those core muscles to keep you nice and stable. back to that tabletop position. Deep breath in, long exhale out. Make sure your toes are tucked under. Walk your hands forward a couple of inches and lift your knees, straighten your legs, come to that upside down V, that downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. You might bend one knee at a time. Stretch out through the backs of your legs. Look up towards your hands and take as many steps as you need to get your right foot up towards your hands. Put a deep bend in your front knee. You can stay on your left toes or spin your heel flat so that your toes are pointed out at an angle. And you can stay here. You can bring your hands up to your thigh, or you can stretch your arms all the way up overhead. This is a very challenging position. It's called Warrior One. If it's hard, that's normal. Maybe try to drop your shoulders down, create some space between your ears and your shoulders. Take one more breath here. And then straighten your right leg. Bring your hands down to your hips. You might hop your back foot in just a little bit. And then try to keep your hips and shoulders to the front of the room as you fold over that straight right leg. It's a big stretch through your legs. Notice where you feel it. And again, if you need to make any adjustments or do something different, absolutely fine. Take one more breath here. Lift up about halfway, put a slight bend in your knee, and then bring your hands all the way down to the floor. And bring your right foot back to meet the left for downward facing dog. As many steps as you need to take. Take a breath or two here. Look forward. Big step forward with your left foot. Again, remember you can stay up on the toes of your right foot or spin your heel down. Deep bend in your left knee. You might bring your hands up to rest on your thigh. You might lift your arms all the way overhead. Again, you're going to use those core muscles, hug everything in to keep you stable. And you're going to keep breathing. Take one more breath here. And then straighten your left leg. Bring your hands down to your hips. Maybe hop that right foot in a little bit. And then fold over that straight left leg. Try to get that left hip back, right hip forward. Pull those shoulder blades together so you have a nice flat spine. Notice where you feel a stretch on this side. Take a couple more breaths. Inhale, lift up about halfway, put a slight bend in your left leg. Bring your hands all the way down to the floor. Step your left foot back to that downward facing dog. Take a breath or two. Look up towards your hands. Walk your feet up towards your hands. Bring your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. And just stay in that forward fold. You might grab opposite elbows and just sway a little bit from side to side. One more breath here. Release your hands, slight bend in your knee. Roll all the way up to standing. Take a moment to get nice and grounded here. Take a breath and exhale it out. Let's go ahead and roll our shoulders out a couple of times. Perhaps release any tension you're holding through your shoulders. It would feel good to move your neck from side to side or make gentle circles with your neck. You're welcome to do that. Take a few moments to explore whatever it is that your body is asking to do. When you're ready, come on down to a seat. If you have a blanket or something you would like to sit on, a blanket or a pillow, it can be nice to have your hips a little bit higher. My cat has taken over my blanket, so I am just going to sit here. We can do a couple of forward folds from here, and then we will end with our final rest. So let's start by bringing our legs out in front of us, shake them out a little bit. Maybe make some circles with your ankles. And then bend your right knee and bring your right foot into that inner left thigh. Your knee's going to drop open to the right. It might be lifted a little higher. If it's helpful to put a blanket or a block here, absolutely fine. Or it can drop down towards the floor. Pull those left toes back towards your face. Sit nice and tall. And then walk your hands forward. Your hands can rest on the floor, on your leg, or around your foot, whatever works for your body. We'll take a couple of breaths here. Let everything slow back down from those standing positions. One more breath. And when you're ready, walk your hands back up. Sit nice and tall, straighten your right leg, shake them both out. And then bring your left foot into that inner right thigh. Sit nice and tall, pull those right toes back towards your face, and then walk your hands forward. A lot or a little, find the level of sensation you would like today. And it might be different from the other side, it might be different than other days. All completely fine. See if you can find your breath. Come back to those slow, deep breaths, that long exhale. Straighten both legs, shake them out a little bit. Bring your hands back behind you. I bring my fingers out to the side for support. Lean back, open through your chest, maybe rock a little bit from side to side. And then slowly come back up towards the seat. We're going to move towards our final resting position. This is traditionally a lying down position, but if you are more comfortable in a seated position, you can take any seated position you would like. You might come to your back body. Traditionally, our legs are long, feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. Toes relaxed out to the side, palms face up, arms a little away from your body. Again, if this is not comfortable, you might bend your knees, feet wide, knees touch, or you might find a comfortable seated position. Take a moment to reconnect with the support of the ground underneath you, noticing your body resting. Notice how your body feels after movement. Anything feels different, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Both are completely fine. And take a moment to notice if there's anything that you would like to take with you from this practice. So maybe it's your breath, maybe it's a position you liked or didn't like. Maybe it's a thought you had that you want to remember throughout your day. Allow that to settle in. And then allow your mind and body to take rest. Slowly begin to bring awareness back into your body. You might begin to wiggle fingers and toes or circle wrists and ankles. And a little bit of movement back in. If your knees are not bent, you might begin to bend your knees. And then make your way onto your right side body using your right arm as a pillow for your head. Take a breath or two here as you slowly transition back. Giving yourself as much space and time as you need. When it's right for you, begin to make your way back up towards a comfortable seat. Hands come together, thumb rests on heart. Thank you all for taking the time to be here today, for doing something good for your body and for your mind. And I hope to see you again soon. Thank you very much.